Right now at 10, testimony continues for day 8 of Adam Fravel's murder trial.
And Gwen Walz and Jill Biden make a stop in La Crosse.
Plus, Congressman Derek Van Orden hosts a campaign rally with the House Majority Leader.
We're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Today was day 8 of Adam Fravel's trial in Mankato. An agent from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension testified that transferred electronics, bedding, clothing, and DNA samples to the Bureau. He also moved items including clothing, hair ties, and a sexual assault kit from the medical examiner to Mayo Clinic for autopsy. Days after Kingsbury went missing, the agent searched her and Fravel's home, finding duct tape, which he said wasn't seized. Another testimony added that Fravel was bruised a week after Kingsbury went missing.
Prairie du Chien police have identified the victim and suspect in a Friday homicide. 39-year-old Jesse Slaughter faces first-degree reckless homicide for the death of 65-year-old Daniel Welsh. According to PDC police, officers conducted a welfare check on the 1000 block of East Wisconsin Street Friday night. They found Welsh dead inside a home with wounds likely caused by a sharp object. Authorities have conducted an autopsy today. Slaughter is also charged over in Oneida County for disorderly conduct and criminal damage to property.
Well, we've had a bit of a...
We had a very nice day out there, well above average for this time of year. Never really going to complain about those low 70s though, because that's where much of us got up to. Looking at a high of 70 in La Crosse, 72 in Eau Claire, really the majority of the area getting into the low 70s, well above average, and we're still going to continue to rise as we go into tomorrow. Here's a look at where we are in terms of our average temperatures, well above it, 15 to even more than 20 degrees above average for this time of year, and that's going to continue as we go on to tomorrow, even getting warmer as we go into the afternoon. Tonight's lows are going to be exceptionally warm as well, staying in the low 60s, which is very rare for this time of year. We will have that breeze that we saw today continue on into tomorrow as well, getting a little bit strong. Now places north of I-94 like Eau Claire will see a little bit of a break from that breeze until you get later in the day, but again, warm temperatures overnight thanks to all that cloud coverage we have. And then our gusts tomorrow getting a little bit up there, seeing gusts near 40 miles an hour at times. That's going to extend into the overnight period as well. And then we go into Wednesday morning and the afternoon where showers and thunderstorms will be possible, which is needed across the area. And I'll have all the details on when we expect to see a cool down and saying goodbye to the 80s for hopefully the rest of the year.
We've had that conversation a bunch, but
I'm hoping I can mean it this time.
Yeah.
all right,
Us
Nicole,
too.
thank you.
The First Lady and Minnesota First Lady rallied Democrats together at the La Crosse Center tonight.
That's right. News 8 Now's Grace Monk joins us live in studio with the recap. Grace.
With only 8 days until the election, First Lady Jill Biden and Gwen Walz spoke to educators about the importance of voting and the impact the election will have on their careers. The two discussed policy during their speeches, placing emphasis on the economic benefits the Harris-Walz administration could provide. Both Biden and Walz have worked as public school teachers. Teachers' salaries in Wisconsin fall $7,000 below the national average. State budget cuts and bargaining laws leading to reduced wages have caused many to leave the profession. One La Crosse teacher says having Walz as vice president is crucial to the future of educators in Wisconsin.
Having a public school teacher beside her in the White House, I've never seen anything like that, and so knowing that our voices are going to be represented in policy discussions is just, you can feel the change coming. It's so exciting.
Several speakers took the stage before Biden and Walz, including members of the National and La Crosse Education Associations. Today marked Biden and Walz's first time campaigning together and Biden's first visit to La Crosse this year. Ken and Emily.
All right, Grace Monk in studio. Thank you, Grace.
Down ballot candidates are also pulling out all the stops to meet voters this week. 3rd Congressional District candidate Rebecca Cook met voters at a Vote for Common Good roundtable. It's an organization courting Christians and evangelicals to vote for Kamala Harris. Cook says voters want candidates who are faith-based and run on values over partisanship.
And so it's important that we're talking to people from all different faith backgrounds, in particular Christian voters that, the far right, I think, has really worked to try to co-opt over time. And so I think it's really important for us to be showing, like, I'm also a Christian woman. These are the values that I believe in.
Cook says the people she met today are concerned about affordable housing and health care access. Vote for Common Good finished the day with a film event in Eau Claire.
The incumbent 3rd District Congressman visited Dairyland Power for a roundtable on nuclear energy today. Republican Derek Van Orden says if the government is serious about being carbon neutral, then it needs to invest in nuclear. Van Orden and Dairyland's presidents say if the federal government would streamline the permitting process and subsidize nuclear the same as wind and solar, more utilities would invest in a nuclear future.
I don't want the federal government dictating to these professionals, you're going to use X amount of wind, X amount of solar, X amount of nuke. I don't want to do that. I want the subject matter experts that are providing a service to be able to provide that service with reasonable oversight from the federal government.
Ridge says nuclear is safe, reliable, doesn't emit carbon, and it's the only power source that has decommissioning and waste disposal built into its cost. He added their sites in Alma or Genoa would be great places to transition to nuclear if the government reduced those economic and logistical hurdles. Now, Van Orden wrapped his day with a campaign rally at his La Crosse headquarters with House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. The congressman today joined Minnesota 1st District Congressman Brad Finstad and other Republicans in an open letter to the USDA. They're asking for answers on why Minnesota-based Pure Prairie Poultry received millions of federal dollars in grants last year, but went bankrupt just last month. And that bankruptcy has forced several Minnesota and western Wisconsin farmers to cull or give away thousands of chickens because that organization stopped paying them.
The American Honey Queen was buzzing about bees today for elementary students. The American Honey Queen is a spokeswoman for the American Beekeeping Federation, which supports beekeepers throughout the U.S. She spoke at Crucifixion School to students about the importance of the role bees have in pollinating food, stating that 1 in every 3 bites of food we take are pollinated by bees.
Some of the things are pollination. The honeybee, the commercial beekeeping industry across the U.S. is a $19 billion industry because of all the fruits and vegetables that are directly pollinated by honeybees.
She also promoted the Wisconsin Honey Producer Association's Kids and Bees Expo convention happening this weekend in Onalaska.
Aiming to win.
One woman's purpose is helping combat homelessness in La Crosse.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Think you know Steve Doyle? Think again. Doyle refused to protect our daughters, forcing them to share bathrooms and locker rooms with biological boys, and voted to force girls to compete against boys in sports. Doyle believes dangerous puberty-blocking drugs should be given to minors and gender reassignment surgeries performed on children. Keep kids safe? Steve Doyle says no. Ryan Hipsch, focused on what matters, helping families with rising costs and protecting our children. It's just common sense. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
Eric Hovde's trying to scare you. The truth is, no sex change surgeries take place on minors in Wisconsin. 0. And Tammy Baldwin didn't give funding to a transgender clinic. It's actually a youth homeless shelter. Eric Hovde knows that. But he's a billionaire banker who thinks he can lie about anything, including falsely attacking Tammy Baldwin by questioning her personal life. Wisconsin's better than Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. Lane's Farm and Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like $5 off men's work and sport flannels starting at $24.99. Shop new fall styles of men's and women's Ariat workwear and accessories. Get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear. Plus, save $80 on this Milwaukee 4-tool combo kit.
One La Crosse woman says she's living out her purpose, helping the unsheltered survive by supplying them the basic necessities that get them through their day-to-day. But it's her compassion and winning attitude that's making the real impact in their lives. Meet Sue Graff, our October hometown hero.
Sue, I think maybe I need like some socks.
All right, it's a calling. It's not a job. I'm 64. I don't really need a job anymore.
Every time Sue Graff rolls up in her big yellow van, people know they're about to get a little more than the essentials. They're about to catch up with a good friend.
She remembers each and every one of us. She really does. From grumpy old Doc to bikers to like me and to other people.
I'm going to give you a couple choices. Like this one?
Sue started the nonprofit WIN, or What I Need Now, back in 2020 during COVID, when resources were extremely limited for the unsheltered. She and her partner Brian drive the WIN van 7 days a week to several community parks, Burns, Copeland, Cameron, anywhere they can find people who need a little extra help with their day-to-day.
I got a blanket because it's freezing at nighttime now, a ton of water because I love my water.
We help people survive until they can maintain a different lifestyle and be successful.
The WIN van is replenished by donations and numerous nonprofits in La Crosse, with clothing, food, hygiene products.
My kind of joke is, if I don't have it, you don't need it right now.
Although she comes bearing the necessities,
that's all I need.
It's her humanity, her ability to see a piece of herself in each person who comes to her for help that carries the most value.
She had tracked Doc down one day to give him a special button-down shirt.
It's just really inspirational to see that level of kindness still is in the world.
An incomparable compassion that stemmed from her experience with homelessness as a child.
It's not always easy.
No.
But like I said, I feel called to do it.
And although Sue feels that she has much more to give, she does hope to one day say goodbye to this purpose-driven life.
The biggest dream for this organization is to not be needed, to be put out of business.
And according to Cooley Cap, there are currently 171 people without permanent housing in La Crosse. And if you'd like to make a monetary donation to WIN, you can visit whatineednow.org. We'll have that link on our platforms. And if you know of anyone doing good works in your community, you can nominate them for our next hometown hero. Just visit news8000.com and click on the Features tab. Well, winter is coming. Saltwise Equipment hosted an open house to show how they'll protect local waterways this season.
And winter's coming, but we're going to spend one last day with summer temperatures. High temperatures reaching the 80s tomorrow. I'll have your full forecast coming up after the break.
Right now at International Furniture, get store-wide fall savings on all the brands you know and trust. Fjords, Durham Bedroom, Norwalk, Hooker, Flex Steel, and Hancock and more. Hurry in today for the best selection and savings. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar.
The Monroe County Historical Society Arts and Crafts Show takes place at Sparta High School on November 2nd. Products include fudge, candy, canned goods, quilts, rugs, soap, clothes, and more. Join St. John's United Church of Christ on November 4th for their 100th annual roast pork and sauerkraut supper. And enjoy roast pork, mashed potatoes, gravy, carrots, sauerkraut, roll, and pumpkin dessert.
For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook.
She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I believe in bringing people together, like my family and neighbors did when I was growing up on the north side of La Crosse. And now that I'm in the state legislature, it's why I focus on bipartisanship, because my whole being is focused on bringing people together to find solutions to make everyone a winner. I've appreciated the opportunity to be your state representative, and if I'm reelected, that's what I'm going to continue to do. My entire focus will be on bringing people together to make Wisconsin a better state.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty.
Gear up this hunting season with Johnson Tractor and get 0% APR for 54 months or up to a $2,000 cash rebate on select Kubota Sidekick RTVs. Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Right now at International Furniture, get store-wide fall savings on all the brands you know and trust. Fjords, Durham Bedroom, Norwalk, Hooker, Flex Steel, and Hancock and more. Hurry in today for the best selection and savings. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, with winter just around the corner, the La Crosse County Highway Department is working to protect local waterways.
At today's SaltWise Equipment Open House, some maintenance crews learned that just 1 teaspoon of road salt can make 5 gallons of water toxic for freshwater organisms. Local municipalities today shared strategies and reviewed new equipment to help reduce salt use this upcoming season.
Well, before winter, we've had quite a warm start to our fall season.
It's been a very warm October.
Felt like we've had that transition yet from summer to fall, but yeah, 70s today, 80s tomorrow. What's going on here, Nicole?
Yeah, this is actually one of the warmest starts to fall that we've seen on record, getting up into the top 5. And it's not looking like we're going to cool down into the next few days either. As we go into tonight, we're going to feel that warmth. Record overnight lows are going to be possible across the entirety of our area as we're staying in the mid to low 60s tonight. Now, records for these high-low temperatures for this time of year are usually in the mid 50s, so it's a good chance that we're going to see quite a few records being broken tonight. Now, as we go into tomorrow, that trend's going to continue as well. We're seeing highs in the low 80s, 81 in La Crosse, 80 in Eau Claire. These are temperatures that we should be seeing in August, just over 2 months ago. So seeing them at this time of year is exceedingly rare, and we should hopefully be saying goodbye to them as we get into the middle of this week. Here we are, a normal high for this time of year, 55, normal low, 37. We're starting at 60 in the morning, so we're well above that, and then we're getting up to 80. So we're going to be around 25 degrees above average for the majority of the daytime period tomorrow. Very warm out there, and it's also going to be pretty windy as well. We felt a little bit of that stronger breeze today. It's going to get just a little bit stronger as we go into tomorrow. However, during the daytime hours, we're seeing a lot of these stronger winds really staying south of I-94. Those sustained winds are going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 miles an hour, especially as we get into those afternoon hours. Gusts could be getting as high as 40 miles an hour in some locations, so making sure you're strapping down your Halloween yard decorations, all those inflatables, because they will definitely be susceptible to blowing around in wind speeds like that. Now, as we go into the overnight periods, those stronger winds are sticking around. They're not dying down. They're going to go north of I-94 as well, giving a windier overnight period where you could be feeling some windy conditions going into the morning Wednesday. You're also going to be seeing a chance for some showers as well. We'll see a few scattered chances in those morning hours, but that main line isn't really going to come through until we get into the afternoon hours with that cold front passing through. Here Here we are at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Within this line, there could be some embedded thunderstorms. Now, the main risk of those thunderstorms, should they become strong to severe, which there is a small chance for that to happen. It's not unlikely. And the main risk with those would be those strong wind gusts on top of the already strong winds that we're going to be having into Wednesday. Now, this is really going to take its time to move on out. Once that strongest portion of the line moves through, it's really just going to be giving us those lighter showers throughout much of the evening hours. We'll get a little bit of a break until we go into the morning Thursday, and then we'll get another dosage of some scattered showers. And I want to say this with a grain of salt, but if you can see this lighter stuff up here, there could be a few snowflakes in that. Now, as you can see, I don't want to freak anybody out. This really isn't in our area. We're really looking at northern Wisconsin and northern Minnesota, and it's actually normal this time of year to start getting the first snow. So it shouldn't be making its way down here, but it's kind of crazy to be seeing the 80s and snow in the same forecast. Here's a look at the accumulation in the area. Some areas could be seeing as high as 2 inches of rainfall, which is going to be doing great things to our drought monitor, hopefully helping some of those drier soils out there. Now, our Halloween forecast is looking pretty pleasant. As we get into that trick-or-treating hours, though, those rain showers from the morning should hopefully dry up. There's going to be a bit of a breeze getting into the mid-40s, but again, a pretty seasonable Halloween forecast, which we haven't been able to say the word seasonable in quite some time. So thankfully the cool down came just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, I think the snowflakes you mentioned would have given people quite a fright on Halloween if they'd headed down this way, but
we're not
seeing their way up north.
Yes.
All right,
Not
we'll
yet.
Thank you, Nicole. Coming up next in sports, survive and advance. A couple of Minnesota volleyball teams hoping to continue their seasons. We got highlights from a pair of Section 1A quarterfinal matchups. Jacob is next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
It's Jeep Adventure Days at Chrysler Winona. Lease a new 4-door Jeep Wrangler Willys V6 with heated seats and steering wheel for $549 down and $549 per month, or buy it from $10,000 off of MSRP. Need more room? A new 3-row Jeep Grand Cherokee L with heated leather, sunroof, and a V6 engine up to $10,000 MSRP, or lease from $599 down and $599 per month. So see us today at our new location, Highway 61, Winona.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for Defund the Police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected, the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us.
Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Cooley region.
I'm sick and tired of getting ripped off by career politicians. And Tammy Baldwin, she's one of the worst. Baldwin's in bed with Wall Street. While she sleeps in her girlfriend's $1 million condo in New York City, Wisconsin families are getting hammered by high inflation and handouts for illegal immigrants. Tammy and her girlfriend are living large while Wisconsin families foot the bill. Frankly, it's time for Tammy Baldwin to go.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Minnesota volleyball teams are just a few wins away from the state tournament, which means everyone meets in Rochester for sectionals. The Mabel Canton Cougars are one of the top teams in the state, and they've got their eyes set on a trip back to the Excel Center. Let's go to the Mayo Civic Center. The Cougars enter the night 32-2 this season, and this is a team who is laser focused. First set, Cougars up big on set point. Kinley Soini with the bump set, and Tyler Wenthold comes over top with the kill. Grand Meadow cannot hold it. Cougars takes that one 25-9. Let's jump to the third frame. Mabel rolling the kill, gets blocked, but Sahara Morgan heads up play with a dump to the perfect spot. Cougars in full control. Then on match point, Kaylee Ingvalson with the serve. The Grand Meadow defense trying to set up a kill, but Ella Halverson stands strong, gets the block, and Mabel Canton gets the sweep, and they are moving on to the section semifinals. Spring Grove, the 2 seed, as the Lions facing off with Goodhue. Spring Grove would drop the first set, but they would bounce back. Goodhue with a soft hit over the net. Jordis Neely would make them pay, spikes it back over. Lions would take set number 2. Then in set 3, they're really starting to click. Joelle Halverson goes down for the dig, and that will lead to Haley Norman going up for the kill. She drills it. Lions would take set 3, but this match would go into set 5, and Goodhue would close it out 15-13 the final as Spring Grove's season comes to an end. Bucks on the second night of a back-to-back against the reigning champs, Boston. Second quarter, it's Damian Lillard missing on the 3, but he gets his rebound and connects on the retry from the corner. Not much later, it's Lillard playmaking on the pass, and he drops it off to Giannis. He slams it home. The Greek Freak had 30 and 10 rebounds, but this guy was a killer tonight for Boston. Peyton Pritchard sticks the long triple try before the end of the third quarter. He had 28 points, including 8 threes, and the Bucks drop this one 119-108 and lose their third straight game after opening the season with a win. Well, with losses by the Vikings and Bears in Week 7, the Packers now sit alone in second in the ever-competitive NFC North, which sets up a big game this Sunday against the Lions. In between important matchups against the Texans and Detroit, it was this one versus Jacksonville, which many believe could be a trap game. But the Green and Gold did enough to get the job done and hold on for the 30-27 win. One of the stars from yesterday's game was rookie linebacker Edgerrin Cooper, who had a team-high 9 tackles and a forced fumble.
That was a huge sequence in the game. You're talking about the forced fumble, and I thought Devontae Wyatt did a heck of a job, kind of like bodying out the offensive lineman to get that ball. He's a young player. We see the splash plays. They're all over the place. He's dynamic. He's super athletic, and I think he's getting better and better each and every week.
And regarding injuries, well, it's good news today. Jordan Love has a strained groin. He's considered day-to-day, might play this coming week. The Jair Alexander injury, the MRI on his knee, came back with no significant concern, so his soreness will be monitored. And Evan Williams' hamstring injury also has no long-term concerns. He could be back against the Lions. And after a second half where they were outscored 21-3, the Badgers let go of their chance at pulling off a massive upset last Saturday. They now turn their attention to the Iowa Hawkeyes, who had Wisconsin's number the last couple of years, winning the last 2 meetings. Both teams have a 5-3 overall record with a 3-2 mark in the Big Ten. I'm sorry. It looks like Brendan Sullivan will get the start for Iowa this weekend after Cade McNamara was injured against Northwestern.
Bro, I don't know who Brendan Sullivan even is. So I guess I should feel confident as a Wisconsin fan.
I agree. Big games this weekend in the league play. Packers-Lions, that's top spot. Yeah. Also the Badgers and Hawkeyes. It's a big rivalry, so we'll see how it plays out.
Big time weekend coming up. All right, thanks, Jacob.
Okay, more news right after this.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
For over 40 years, Lacrosse Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CEHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
Insanity. doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
He's supposed to serve Wisconsin, but Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. Van Orden wants to repeal the law that stops insurance companies from denying coverage if you have a pre-existing health condition. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This election is a choice between 2 very different visions for America. I will take on price gouging to bring down grocery prices. I will lower the cost of health care insurance. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy. I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. You may not always agree with me, but I promise I will do everything I can to lift up the middle class and be a president for all Americans. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Granny basketball is back in La Crosse.
That's right. The priests of the La Crosse Diocese accepted the challenge to face off against the La Crosse Does in a game of granny basketball.
Padres, as the priests are called, agreed to play by the rules of the Senior Women's League. So that means no running, no jumping, and only 2 dribbles per possession.
Granny basketball has teams across the U.S. and in Canada. The players their love for the game is what makes granny basketball so special.
I just love playing basketball. I enjoy offense a little bit more than defense, so when I can shoot a shot and make it, that's really fun. And just the camaraderie. The gals on our team are a wonderful and enjoyable group.
Proceeds from the event will go to an orphanage sponsored by the La Crosse Diocese in Lurin, Peru. Casa Hogar Juan Pablo. Okay.
And now that's a great night to get over at Aquinas' gym.
Yeah.
Great cause. We've seen previous videos where reporters have done stories on granny basketball.
Yeah.
It looks like a fun time.
That's inspiring to just start at any age, like a competitive sport like that.
Yeah.
Like you didn't do it in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Try to
it works
later on
now.
in life. I love it. Okay, we'll have another look at your forecast right after the break.
The lawyer you choose makes a difference because you get this one chance to get this right, and you want somebody that's going to fight for you and get you the resolution that you need. I'm so glad that I called BGR.
Drive in and see Wisconsin's best furniture store. With holidays and the football season upon us, shop and order now.
Browse the most competitive prices on a huge selection of sofas, sectionals, and chairs.
Awesome discounts on power reclining with adjustable headrest, zero gravity, or lift.
Set the table this year with options from Ashley, Sunny Design, and our rustic Amish pieces. Looking for a better night's sleep? Try out any of our hybrid, all-foam, and double-sided mattresses with adjustable bases and frames available.
Furniture from our family to yours. Black River Furniture Outlet, Black River Falls.
The Board Store 35th anniversary, you could win. Third prize, $1,944 savings certificate. I was born in October 1944. Second prize, $1,989 savings certificate. I started the Board Store October 1989. First prize, $2,024 savings certificate. I'm celebrating 35 years at the Board Store. Call or visit our showroom soon. Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The Board Store, improving your home, improving your life.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar.
The Monroe County Historical Society Arts and Crafts Show takes place at Sparta High School on November 2nd. Products include fudge, candy, canned goods, quilts, rugs, soap, clothes, and more. Join St. John's United Church of Christ on November 4th for their 100th annual roast pork and sauerkraut supper. And enjoy roast pork, mashed potatoes, gravy, carrots, sauerkraut, roll, and pumpkin dessert.
For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
Jolivet Family Farms, known for farm fresh fruit and vegetables, but featuring so much more. Come see all that we have. Homemade bakery, large selection of locally produced honey, gourmet popcorn, craft beer, wine, and cheese, meat and seafood, arts and crafts, and so much more. There is no substitute for homegrown freshness. Open daily year-round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
When I called other lawyers, I wasn't even sure who was going to be representing me. Once I called BGR and talked to Brian, I felt secure immediately. I'm so glad that I called Bygoff and Rohde.
One last warm one tomorrow, and then we got Halloween weather on the way.
Thanks for joining us.
Sounds good.